Symarra.
No, we're left.
Oh my god.
Mogar!
Mogar
only know how to
Nyx
destroy.
uses one of hers. Very good. So you're gonna get +4.
Mogar does not know how to read.
Cypress, you're also gonna get
can't help.
+2 from the books around you, so that's +6 to your heal check. So give me a heal check, add 6 to it.
Okay. That's a lot. Okay, here we go. This is me trying to fucking fix this motherfucker.
Okay, very good. In case of ruptured bones, there is actually a chapter that expresses what happens when there is like a shatter or a fracture of sorts. And they basically suggest that it takes a long time to heal this, but in your case, because you actually have a spell to assist in the mending process, you need to manually reset. You're going to have to open up that part of his face, find the chipped bone, manually reset, and then mend.
Awesome.
Here we go.
That
You're
response.
magic, man.
That response. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, I have a dagger, and I have claws, and I have quite good dexterity. If any of that helps, but I would need walking through.
After watching your heal rolls, I want you guys just to leave me the fuck alone. And let me go to work.
I mean,
that's for the best. Nyx is
that's
not
probably true.
the best doctor assistant.
Not
She'd be like,
Nyx is not the
Mogar
best.
gets her people open.
No, she would fucking be levitating the instruments like that.
I mean, I had a
damn it.
spell for that, Nyx.
So I pretty much follow the chart. I wipe the sweat from my brow and I try to get to work doing this very careful surgery.
Sure.
With minimal help from the crew.
I'm going to continue using your heal check here, since you kind of know what you're doing. You've set yourself up. You have tools available to you. It's not like you have a doctor's scalpel, but you will have access to like a dagger. With the clean hot water, some of the clean linen, as long as someone's there to kind of like dab away at the blood, or to pour water over the wound itself to kind of clean it up a bit, you'll be able to locate this with a perception check. So give me a perception once you've kind of steeped away some of the blood immediately from the wound.
I look to the spellcasters in the group and inquire that they wouldn't happen to have a sleep spell prepared.
No.
No.
Okay, we're going in. All right. Well, I asked if she has any kind of shit. Well, do we have any? Man, how am I going to say this? Does she have anything that would work as an anesthesia for this guy? Like to keep this guy out? I just haphazardly like ask around the room. Anybody have anything to like put this guy out?
So I do. So Mogar comes up to him.
God.
You think he's gonna do something? Mogar goes up because is he conscious?
He's unconscious.
Well, yeah. Oh, unconscious. Yeah. But like, yeah, he's alive. Yeah. Be careful.
Oh wait, but he's unconscious though, right? So
Correct.
he's already
He-
asleep.
He's
If he could
unconscious.
get up at any point.
Then you can work on him. If he's
Remember,
sleeping.
the body's natural response system for survival is when something happens and it starts triggering your nerve endings, your body is supposed to jump, fight, or flight, like adrenaline is going to take course. So if he starts cutting on this eye, that like this is a sensitive spot, particularly if there's a bone jabbing into the eyeball, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" and just fly off the
Boom.
handle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mogar
I don't
will
want him
just chop
waking
his
up.
head.
Yeah, I don't.
He'll go back to his
God damn it.
You know what I'm saying? I'll just keep my hand open over there so when he wakes up, boom, and then he just goes back to bed because he just knocked himself out. I
don't think I even have anything. Let me see.
don't have anything.
I have like frost spells and shit.
I have survival. I have swim, class skill, perception.
I look
nature.
around the room quickly to see if I can ascertain anything that might help me put this man to sleep, like either a potion, some type of herb, or whatever. I just look around the room and last desperate act just to find something.
You've got nothing.
If it's this or the guy dying, I mean, this is what we got. So what
Right.
did you said perception?
Yep, give me a
Mogar
perception.
could hold him down, I guess.
You can just put him in a sleeper hold.
Yeah, I tell to Mogar that if he wakes up and starts freaking out, you know, just restrain him.
Mogar.
We're going in.
Mogar.
You said
Give you
perception, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, you are able to locate the bone that has fractured away and is recessed just behind the eye. You can see it, but your fingers are just a little too stubby in the situation. You've got kind of like sausage fingers in the situation. You need some delicate and very thin fingers.
Immediately upon realizing that I'm probably going to have to ask Nyx for help with this, I let out the biggest sigh ever. And I just go, and I look up and I look over at Nyx and man, I need some help over here, man. What's that?
I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, did you? Okay. I didn't know if the...
I can
So-
hear it.
Okay,
I was hearing it just fine.
Okay, so
Cypress,
I looked at her and...
give me it before you immediately ask Nyx, because you know she's just booming at the opportunity. Give me a d20 plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay. I
When
can
it
do
mutes, I'm gonna unmute the stream so I can listen to it on the stream.
that.
Very good. You know that you could simply ask Nyx for assistance in this situation, or if you happen to have someone that knew how to use Mage Hand, they could guide the ability Mage Hand to operate like a doctor's utensil to remove this. Remember, Mage Hand can lift up to 5 pounds per level.
Okay. I explain that and ask if anybody has that spell handy.
I can. I'll help you and but
Did you guys get it? Did they have that spell handy?
I have it.
Get out.
Never mind. Never mind.
Get out.
I have it. I'm confused.
No, because it's
Symarra's got
handy.
it.
Do you have it
Oh
handy?
my
Yeah.
It's the
gosh.
mage hand. Never mind.
I told him to get out.
Whoa, things are falling down.
What the
I
hell's
thought
going
Vance-
on?
Vance is here, spooping up my room. And
Damn it, Vance! Spooping up the room.
Fucking Vance.
That'd be crazy if all that just went.
but yeah, I can use Mage Hand to.
Okay,
Help out.
Symarra, Mage Hand is basic level spell for a spellcaster. You know that it takes nothing, though you have to have some focus on it. In this case, it's going to take the most clandestine focus. You have to be very clear-headed. No distractions whatsoever. One false move, and you could rupture his eyeball.
He'd have a cool eye patch though.
You're probably right. He might have a dope eye patch. But in
He
this
would get
case...
all the pussy.
Okay, so I get up and I walk up to the table because I was sat next to Kendra, and I don't know, I kind of look it over to see exactly what it is that I need to, like, see where the bone is.
Nyx is just pouting in the corner, like fucking.
Cypress
God.
points out the bone to you. He says that his hands are a little too big for the situation, but he thinks that someone with Mage Hand could fix this.
So I just need to raise it up directly, or just wiggle it.
I explained to her exactly what she needs to do.
Sure.
Like I just
Okay.
yeah.
I now know what I need to do.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
manually reset
The
the bone.
RP.
You need to manually reset the bone in a way that
I have to reset the bone.
Yeah. Upon pulling it out, you'll be able to just kind of like slide it back into a resetting place, and then it's going to be up to Cypress to mend. Does that sound fair?
So I need to pull it, push it, bop it.
Not quite. Not
Twist
quite,
it.
bop it. So,
Twist it.
Symarra, I'm going to set a DC for you. This is a focus, okay? It's not going to be on wisdom. It's not going to be on your charisma. I'm going to make this a dexterity check, because you can already cast the spell. I'm setting the DC at 15. So
Okay. I have
D20,
+3 dexterity.
D20 plus 3. You're not going to get any help on this one. Ooh, very good. Very
That's
good.
good shit.
With excellent precision, she is able to manipulate the bone free, and it resets into place.
And as soon as it resets in the proper place, I cast Mend on the skull and the bone.
Sure. Mend, depending on the material that it's made out of, can take some time. Bone, though it's incredibly porous, will take some time. It's going to take you probably upwards of an hour of using Mend to mend the bone back into place. But you know that you just saved his vision. Once it's done, you will need to give him like 2 or 3 stitches, and he'll be good to go. Once this happens, once you get this back into place, the moment that the mending begins to occur, you see a natural recession of the eye back into place, especially as the swelling begins to drop. Congratulations, you just saved his eyesight.
I'm excited.
Go team, go! Go team, go!
Hell yeah, guys.
Very good. That was interesting. I feel like I just watched some house nonsense right there.
Somebody came in and handed me a book of rules, and I threw it out the window, and I was like, I don't follow the rules. Because that's what House does, and he always wins. So.
When in doubt, it's probably lupus. Give him antibiotics.
It's probably lupus, that's right. It's probably lupus.
Or it was probably him possessed by a demon, thrown into a ward over and over with no apparent care
it could have
or
been a bit where
concern
he
for
fell
the body.
Where he fell down the icy stairs a few times, wrapped in a hammock, or when he got hit on the head by Mogar.
Yeah, it's like you saved his vision, but he is still dead.
Well, it was either either lupus bleeding, or it was Wilson's disease, where you get the copper in the eye. It's Wilson's disease. That's definitely what it is. He got Wilson's. Man. So you saved him. You see that Kendra is happy with the outcome, but she's still incredibly careful. She doesn't want to let go of the spirit board. And if she does leave it on her person readily available, it's not going to be readily available to Nyx.
Yeah, after I'm done with the surgery, I kind of go up to Kendra and kind of give her like a doctor's summary, like hey, he's gonna make it. His vision's all right thanks to Symarra, and and I kind of go into that, and then I want to sort of reach into the conversation about what to do with the board. Okay. And we can do that however you want.
All right, then start the discussion. Bring everyone to the forefront. Let's make it so.
Well, I get done explaining to her, and I just kind of go and I say, okay, now we have to talk about the other thing, man. We got to figure out what to do with that board, man. Like, what are we going to do with it? And I'm kind of looking around at everybody, and I'm kind of looking at Kendra, and I say, because clearly it's very, very dangerous.
Is there a way to use the board to send the evil spirit back?
You want to use the board again?
Yeah, let's not use the board, guys. Like, that does not seem like what.
No, I mean, but we definitely need to do something about the serial killer that we love by accident.
Serial killer?
Look, I mentioned it twice, Kendra, if you've forgotten. It happened.
Who did you let out?
Vance. Yep.
How do you know he was a serial? No! 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 No!
Kinda, yeah. Kinda.
Can I? I'm trying to get everybody to calm down. I'm like, hey, everybody, just calm down. Everybody, just calm down.
How do you know it's the Lopper? No, how? That doesn't even make sense.
We had a really nice chat, and then he escaped.
I explained that's who possessed him. That's who he claimed. The spirit claimed to be the Lopper, which apparently is somebody that died in the fire at the prison. I explained that, and I explained, the situation to her, and that he was released. But, I look at Kendra and I asked to get a chance to look over the board. Things were pretty crazy out there. Somebody was hurt. I didn't have an opportunity. I just went into, trying to, save this guy's life. So can I please take a look at it? And I kind of reach my hand out like, can I inspect this thing?
With a little bit of grief, she passes it over to you.
Okay. And I want to look this thing over and see if I can learn anything about this board. How would you want me to do
Finally! That's what I've been wanting to do. No.
I want to learn shit. I want to know. I want to know what's happening. I don't want to just
what love is.
I was just gonna say that. Damn it.
Oh man.
I mean, we're in the library as well, so I mean, while you're looking at that, can I be looking for maybe some information on the Lopper, like a little bit more history on it?
You actually, if you recall, you gained all of the history on the Lopper. If you wanted more information, you needed to go to find, go to the facility where he was housed to find their private dossiers.
Oh, did we? Okay, I didn't realize we got everything because we have to go to the Temple of Erasmus to get the list, right?
I'm
yeah,
slowly
Temple
but
of Erasmus
surely
should have a list.
trying to figure out the best way to capture Daniel's camera, but somehow he keeps moving and changing how he looks every time.
I know, I move around a lot too, I apologize.
Daniel's a shapeshifter.
He fucking is.
Confirmed.
He's a doppelganger.
Just lower it down a little bit. That's all you gotta do. Just lower it down.
I'm on it.
And I promise, everything will be okay.
The Lopper is only one of the 5 most notorious killers.
Yeah.
That was in.
Yeah.
It's only one of the 5.
Something that you guys haven't really tried to do is actually talk to Kendra about the Lopper.
Kendra, who's the Lopper?
She's really
Oh yeah,
now.
that's
She's super mad at us. Although, because we used the
I mean,
board and everything, she
correction. She's super mad at you.
Hi!
You were there. Your cardboard was there.
Yeah, everyone was there. She's mad at everybody because.
Well, I
everybody
mean, I
could have
broached
said
the
Lily, don't
subject
do
of,
this, but we did it because.
We only just said the Lopper to Kendra. So. And she was like, no.
I'm gonna still look over the board. I mean, what do you need me to roll for that to like look over the board and try to figure it out?
Let's see here. Perception's not really gonna give you much. There's not like there's anything that's kind of hidden about this.
Yeah.
So you could
Like
give me
spellcraft.
Yeah, give me a spellcraft. It's not like it's immediately highly magical, but let's see what I can tell you.
Yeah. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, the critical
I don't know
fail.
shit about that board.
I mean,
You
still
have
2.
luck
Can I use my luck roll?
Yeah, go for it, man. You got 2 of them for a reason. Use it or lose it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. A little bit better.
Not bad.
Not wonderful.
Not bad. Let's see what we got here. So, the board is honestly, it's just a device that is used to communicate between the living and the spiritual dead. It's typically like it's the equivalent of a keyboard. That's it.
What allowed her to see the undead and
It was
the marionette that was playing with his soul?
The
Look through the
planchette.
planchette. I was just about to say, does the planchette fall under that umbrella or?
Planchette is a very different device.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I want to investigate that.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Yeah. All right, I will. I'm re-rolling that with my last luck die because fuck everything.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna a little bit better, but not
All right,
much.
so I set the DC at 14 to gain information about this. You do have access to the inspiration of Symarra. It's up to her if she wants to give it to you, though.
It's totally up to you, Symarra.
Yeah, I mean, I used yours last week.
It's
no
true.
shame asked for it.
It's true. She
So I
did.
just roll a d6.
You roll a D4. You're giving it to someone
D4.
else, so it's a D4. Okay, all right. So
Oh.
that's
Fuck everything.
Well, can I?
Symarra.
Can you ask for help? And I also
Unfortunately, no.
have spellcraft.
Unfortunately, you can use one of your rerolls to reroll that.
I mean,
Do
I
it.
literally
Do
need
it.
two.
Do
I
it.
won't have any rerolls, so.
It doesn't matter. Do it. Fuck
Right,
this.
guys, I'm gonna need a little reroll right now.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know
Okay,
what to
so
fucking do.
I'm a good caster. I don't know about the undead. Okay, it's not my jam. I don't mess with that shit.
Fucking Christ.
Look,
Well, I mean, I look it over and I just kind of confirm, I guess, with you guys on what it did when you. Is there a picture of this thing? Do you have a picture?
okay,
of this
so
thing?
the
I do.
planchette
in
had
fact.
like glass inside, didn't it?
There
And
you go.
Lily held it up and looked through it.
Spirit
and Solis through
planchette shown to players.
Boom.
Okay, so the actual like little piece that we go on the board with, she looked through that and
Yep.
saw.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
circle.
Okay, so we know that much about it. Now we don't know if over a week's worth of time it'll make us go blind or anything like that. We have no idea what else it does.
That's right.
But we do know that it reveals some sort of spirit.
Uh-oh.
Correct.
If
At
that's
this,
your
at this
religion.
point, Cypress, you have rolled for this, but Symarra and Nyx have not. Also, we are 3 subs away from a third reroll.
And 7 follows.
That's right.
So
Let
do
me
I
go ahead and
roll-
make 7 different
Wait,
accounts.
should
real
we not
quick.
have had like should we not have had like bonus knowledge? Did you take that into account with the
Yeah, I did.
library?
He has given us every bit of help that I would feel
to be fair.
uncomfortable if he
Okay,
gave us
well-
any more help.
Okay,
What am I
can I do D20 on spellcraft? Oh, was it?
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me a D20 on spellcraft.
Because I can never remember. Inspired by Greatness from the Professor. Does that add on to that? Because I don't
It
think I
will.
have it
Yes,
on
it
my
will.
board. So it's it's plus D6 then.
Do I roll the same thing for
Really?
spellcraft?
Yeah.
Okay, well I have it, but I only have a +1 on intelligence. So.
Can Mogar do it?
Hey,
I got-
Nyx got
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
it. Nyx got it. Nice. Lucicine, thank you so much for gifting that to Sniper. And no,
It went out.
unfortunately, it just went out today, actually. So, let me tell you what you've learned about this, or at least what you are aware of. This might actually buy you into their good graces again. So, brass planchettes are incredibly expensive. Like,
That's why she wants it, the thieving toe rag.
I wanted it. Okay, hold up. I
No,
want it
not
so that
you.
when we go. Oh, all right, that's fine. I'm still
Kendra.
next. Oh, Kendra. I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, I don't just want it for the loot. I want it for our travel so we know where fucking Vance is. So we're not just like.
No, Kendra's trying to run away with it.
planchettes
Fucking thieving
are
bitch.
specifically made with the arcane in mind, and they're crafted in a way that makes them incredibly expensive. Like, one of the reasons you might have wanted this is because the easiest craft to make is about 4,000 gold to make a planchette. The planchette is typically found within a wooden case along with a thin wooden board printed with numerous letters and numbers. There are a series of non-magical versions of these around, but this is a divination tool. They can be used as alternative components for augury spells, but in this case, you use them to speak with the dead. To use the planchette, you rest your fingers lightly upon the planchette's surface and then concentrate. As this happens, it can take up to 2d6 rounds of attunement, and as this happens, the stronger the spirit available will rise to surface. As this happens, the planchette will surface across the board, pointing at anything, answering questions available. This goes on to say other things. The spirits reply in a language understood by the character who asked the question, but resent such contact and give only brief answers. All questions are answered with yes, no, or maybe, or by spelling out a single word, and only a single word. It goes on to say that communication with spirits is an incredibly dangerous task, for many spirits are jealous or hateful of the living. Every time a spirit planchette is used, the user must succeed on a save to avoid being temporarily possessed or harmed by the angry spirits. In some cases, where the spirits are particularly violent or hateful, this save will be dire to a permanent possession. The DC of the save is based on the type of spirit that comes through the board. Anyone who fails the save is prone to being confused before and after, and they are prone to being possessed.
I immediately get an idea in my head, but I keep it to myself. Oh, wait. Actually, I can't even do that. I can. Hold on a second. Nix, you're the only person that knows all this specific information. Mm-hmm. Are you sharing that with anybody, or are you keeping that to yourself?
I would like to share it to everyone. So again, I reiterate what Bob has said.
Okay. You tell them everything.
Yeah.
All right.
I speak up and I say, you know, man, guys, and give me a moment to explain myself, okay? We could potentially use this man to, like, speak to Petrov. Because remember, man, I identified that scroll, and we could be, like, protected from the undead, and then we could attempt to, like, summon Petey, man, and then we could talk to him and figure out, like, what happened.
Mogar starts shaking his head like,
I don't think Kendra's gonna like that.
Kendra's right there.
Yeah. And I look over at Kendra, and I'm like, listen, Kendra, and I use her proper name. Well. And I say, I understand how difficult this might be for you, man. So, like, if you don't want to do it, we don't have to, but there's nobody better to ask about what happened, you know?
It might make it a bit easier.
And I was like, it's just a thought. And I kind of put my hands up and kind of lean back, and, you know, I just want Kendra to know that we're not going to do anything that she doesn't want us to do, but if she's reasonable with herself, it's maybe not a terrible idea to figure out exactly what happened if that's what she really wants.
Well, isn't that what you tried to do previously? You said that you wanted to contact our father. What's to stop someone as strong as the Lopper from coming through?
Well, like, it's not about who comes through, man. It's like, we're protected, so it doesn't matter. If we get the wrong one, then oh well, but we're out of scroll, man. But, like, if we get him and we ask it the right questions, maybe we can learn more about who murdered him.
I'm, like, not engaging as much because I kind of think, like, we still haven't really investigated where he died and Harrowstone, but, like, I'm not touching the conversation again about the possession.
You can see that she's kind of mulling it over, like, she's chewing on what you've said. I think this is going to go worse than what you might think. If this is going to happen to Bard, and even if you're protected, how many people can it protect at the same time?
Well, only one person needs to, like, use it, right? Like, we don't all have to touch it. And know that it protects at least one person, otherwise, you know, man, like, why would it exist? And I just kind of...
That's a pretty sound argument right there, actually. Does a Ouija board only work with one person?
I don't know, I feel like you're just opening the door and letting something else in. And I get that it may not scathe the planchette holder, but it might hurt someone else. What if it takes over me?
Mogar doesn't feel right about this.
I need a nap. Being stabbed today.
Yeah, I guess everybody is sort of, like, fucked up, man, and I'm, like, proposing more crazy shit. I kind of look around and I'm like,
We're all like,
And maybe
drained and
maybe it's too much right now. Like maybe we should take a few days and let me keep watching Bar, and we could do some research in like the library, man. And maybe we just need to relax. And Mogar,
It's
maybe I
pretty-
can help you with some of those wounds. And
it's a pretty. I feel like the topic we haven't mentioned much is the fact that Vance is kind of out there now. Does anyone know what we're gonna do about that? Can we do anything about that? Ah! I don't know
That's
much
what
about
I'm saying.
being
Like,
dead.
do we go after him? Do we go after like him, or do we go
I mean-
back to where we were?
Can we have a look in the library for anything to do with?
We should take that creepy priest with us. And then...
I mean, we could capture a spirit with the vial thing, but I don't know if that would work exactly. Capture heart
I
energies. Blah blah blah.
I think that we should spend some time researching, and I express this to everybody, researching exactly whatever we think will help us next time we encounter a spirit like that, like how to actually stop it. Maybe look into the items that we got and what exactly to do with a silver tipped arrow. Like just do that research in the library, because, and I explain this sort of logic, if we encountered him already once and we weren't able to keep him inside of a crypt, how are we going to stop him at all? Like we don't even know what we're up against really. So maybe equip ourselves with knowledge and then pursue.
It's like, should we tell someone about it, or we're just gonna? It's fine. Kendra knows. Kendra can
I'm pretty sure everyone knows that some shady shit has happened in the town. Like this isn't the only.
Yeah, that's not the only thing.
Or spirit running around killing people and shit. I guess I don't know.
But if you can like.
On whether or not to tell anybody, I wouldn't, because they're only going to blame us.
They're already mad at us, so I kind of don't want to tell them.
I mean, they should blame us. It is our fault.
It is our fault.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
agree
they
with
don't
you.
have to. If what they don't know doesn't hurt them,
Yeah,
We're gonna try to do what's right.
I'm just having visions of him like possessing the sheriff and chopping people's heads off right now.
I know
I
he
don't
won't
see
do
how
it
we can
again.
stop them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that could come in the researching on how to stop him.
Yeah. So
Like, that's
I don't
what I
know.
mean.
I propose that we rest, we get our bearings, we heal up, we do some research, and
Definitely.
try to figure some shit out.
I
Definitely,
agree.
let's heal up. And then, didn't we know that we had to? The only way to find more about him is to get his deity. That's the only way to know more about the Lopper.
Let's go.
The information that you have is you could ask locals, you could speak to Kendra, or you could head to Harrowstone to find the private dossiers.
That's not deities. Excuse me, dossiers. Dossiers.
Again, do we want to go to a place where we know
Not right now.
spirits exist?
Yeah, no, I really do think we need
Let's
to take
ask
some
Kendra.
time and
No.
Definitely, let's go to sleep. But before we do,
Because
we should ask Kendra
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah.
Kendra's already heard us say it's the. Because I said Vance and Nick said the Lobber.
Yes.
And then so she does know.
Yeah, she doesn't know his name's Vance. Like they weren't on speaking
I know. I
terms.
was trying to avoid
Vance
telling who it
refrigeration.
was.
They weren't close.
I was trying to avoid telling exactly without lying.
Yeah.
She can sense the lies.
So Mogar, you sound like you want to bring this conversation to head. Why don't you spearhead it?
What you mean?
You want to talk to her about it? Talk to her.
Listen.
I don't think a good conversation with an angry woman ever starts with listen.
Mogar must tell you something.
Go on, Mogar.
And so he asks exactly what I just stated to her, because I forgot what I just said.
You wanted to ask Kendra about the Lopper.
Okay. So Kendra, from what I've seen, Mogar saw you freak out a little bit because someone said Lopper.
Yes.
What do you know about this said Lopper?
Who doesn't know about the Lopper?
I don't know who this Lopper is.
I
I
don't
just
know.
who's
I
Lopper?
know he cuts heads off.
What else?
Exactly. He's a fiend.
Was he handsome?
More.
He was a man regarded of devil blood. He had... It was known that he had killed at least 30 people. Decapitation. They said that while he roamed the land, that you were to never go by the forest side. Watch closely at the bushes. Your head might be lopped off. Children sing of it. The forest sides. He would lie in wait. People would find days later the things that he had taken with him. He was so persistent and manic about it. He wouldn't even take anything to eat. He would just lie there and wait, watching, like a wolf, waiting to strike. They called him the Wolf, and it's the story of the wolf and the lamb.
A lamb, eh?
Wolf, huh? Yeah.
For the longest time,
How many side names can this guy have?
it's only
And protector of the realm.
And in recent past, he's been dubbed the Lopper. It's easier for children to speak of, but if you ask anyone older than myself about the Black Wolf and the Lamb, you'll hear about the Lopper.
Thank you.
I
So
apparently never want to go to sleep again, so let's hear the story.
So I turned to the gang and then I asked them, so since he has wolf and sheep, and we sell sheep, and his name starts with the, what's the letter again? Mogar doesn't remember, but it sounds
V.
like with the Vance. Yes, Vance V and the lamb. I think something's connected. I think there's a connection. There's connection.
But how do you know? What made you believe that it was the Lopper and not someone else?
I mean, he did tell us that.
What? That doesn't mean anything. It could be anyone impersonating the Lopper.
Okay, well, I don't know if you know much about what he was like as a person, but he was a creepy, smooth talker. Trying to...
He made me feel uncomfortable.
It's been so many years. He wasn't even alive in my time.
Also, when he possessed something after Bar, it was a black wolf. That helped.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You said not to lie.
And you said tell the truth.
I asked Kendra if she knows anything about the wards that were set up around the crypt. Does she know who they would have?
I didn't know idea about their wards. It is the Restlands are prayed to by those at Pharasma, so you would need to speak to someone at the Temple of Pharasma. They could tell you a bit more about it.
Yeah, I think that may be what we need to do, guys. Let the Temple of we need to find out who put those runes there, and then we need to let them know that the shit's escaped.
They refresh
Also,
them. Like, they go there to refresh them every day.
Unless you had explicit permission, I wouldn't suggest you tell them that you raided one of their crypts of storage, taking their belongings. They probably wouldn't take so kindly to that.
Well, we just don't need to mention that bit.
Why were they keeping a known ghost hidden in that area in that crypt anyways? Like, why didn't they just?
Why was he in the restaurant? He seems like evil.
I'm sort of talking out of character at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
He was
gotcha.
called from what I thought he was. Like he was when we asked this to Bub, and when Bub explained on the other day, from what I remember, that he was burned and died at the
In Harrowstone. Yeah,
in
there was
Harrowstone.
fire and stones
So,
falling, he said.
we have no idea how his soul, if anything, would be at Harrowstone. How the hell was it teleported from Harrowstone all the way to the Restlands? And
That's where
being
people
able
are
to-
buried.
It could have
I
been.
mean,
Yeah,
most
but they
people
didn't
are buried,
want
right? It's a graveyard, so
They
Yeah,
didn't want
but
to let
like,
the professor
he was
there, and they
buried
thought
there,
he was
though.
a necromancer.
He wasn't
So I
buried
definitely
there.
would have looked like a serial killer, right?
Yeah, but he could have been following
Okay.
us too, like the spirit.
I remember specifically rolling about Pharasma and learning about. I think it was a pretty decent roll actually, and learning about Pharasma. Does it sound like something that does this bub sound like something that a normal follower of Pharasma would do? Like set up wards around this thing to try to contain this spirit? Because I
Definitely.
can't imagine.
It's
so-
not so much to contain particularly this spirit, but all spirits. Pharasma, her
Okay.
big thing is she is the matron of the boneyard. She determines whether souls stay in purgatory or they go to the heaven or hell or any layer of the abyss. So it's her call. That's her job. But in this regard, they very much are in control of what kind of souls lurk the face of this earth.
So then the question, I guess, is did we accidentally summon up a super powerful spirit, it just haphazardly into what was already just regular ass ward setup? Like, was it just happenstance? It's crazy if that was happenstance. That would actually kind of make sense why it was able to escape, because otherwise wouldn't have just always escaped. It was like, I don't know. I'm trying to brainstorm exactly what you guys fucking did. I was going like the actual like ramifications of what you did.
Well, to be fair, while we were playing, Vance did say that was his summer vacation home. So he usually came and went.
I don't remember that.
From there anyway.
So it sounds like this guy is just this guy's out and about. Anyways, we just happened to bring him to us. So we shouldn't feel that responsible about him being out and about, because he was always out and about.
Mhm.
If anything, we just summoned him to us. So
And we put him in a body. We put him in a host.
yeah, well, temporarily, not anymore. Poor
Well,
poor
He's
Bart.
in a wolf now.
Ay caramba, his face. But yeah, no, I think this is kind of now we're kind of talking about this, but I would consider at this point that like I'm sort of brainstorming with the group, kind of tossing ideas
Yeah.
back and forth a little bit, and
But I kind of want to know
discussing
this story of the wolf and the lamb. Like maybe it goes into a little bit more specifics about something, because he did say that he hasn't been possessing people, but he could say a lot of things.
Do we have the story in the library somewhere?
Or does Kendra want to tell us?
Depends. Do you
Or
look for the
Kendra
story?
knows?
Do you ask her?
I asked Kendra to tell us the story if she knows it.
Well, I don't know the greater details, but let me try to recall it. She kind of begins pacing around the room, like traipsing her fingers back and forth. The tale of the black wolf and lamb was how the lopper was caught. And it's another children's rhyme about the wolf sent to slaughter. About how he had taken many before, but the lamb that escaped. There was a child, a small girl, and from what I remember, she was able to befuddle him and flee. She was able to get help from someone much older, but like a hound, he was supposed to have stayed like Clutch. When a dog bites down, it doesn't let go. He chased her into this home where there were many adults, and they subdued him. And he was supposed to be hung, but instead they wanted to take him to Harrowstone, and Harrowstone was supposed to change these criminals, turn them into livable men, or house them until their death.
But why did they change their mind?
I don't know. It's not part of this tale.
master.
So wait. So did we get the answer then about how they captured him? Can you repeat that again?
Sounds
in
like
the
brute
story?
force, but he was really strong when we were fighting him.
I don't know. My guess is he was subdued, probably cornered and just sheer numbers and force. But if it's true, if you've returned the Black Wolf to this mortal coil, then there's no amount of people that you'll be able to do to subdue a creature like him. He was disgusting.
Well, like, man, maybe we don't need people. And I reach out to try to grab one of those.
Scrolls.
No, not the scrolls. The little capture device for the hunt.
The hunt siphons.
The hunt siphons. Yes.
Is that the
correct.
one with the ghosts in it?
It's the vapor with the skull and yeah. We've only got 4.
And I kind of look it over and whatever, and I kind of suggested to the group that maybe if we come across this thing, that maybe we should try to corner it somehow and use one of these on it. And I asked Kendra if she knows anything more about the device.
I mean, I did the knowledge check last time, and I think we learned quite a lot about it, but I don't know if we learned everything, so...
I don't know. I've never seen anything like this before.
Liar! No, I'm just kidding. She's fine.
Lies!
Liar!
I need a pee break. Soonish.
That's fine. We can take a brief break, so you guys can run off and
Sorry.
head to the little lady's room.
I mean, we can go for naps if I can wait for us to have a communal nap in there.
Yeah, this is fine. But there are going to be some events that happen while you sleep.
Okay, well, I need to pee.
I don't want to sleep by myself.
Perfect. So we're gonna go for a brief break, guys. We are gonna go for a brief break. We will return momentarily.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. So be right back, guys.
Stretch.
BRB.